video for Oral Solutions Checkpoint, and on today's episode we're going to be working on the P100. I've had a lot of messages through Facebook asking me when I'm going to do a few videos for my YouTube channel, and well, here we are. Okay, so before we jack up the P100 we need to make sure that we put chalk at the wheel. As you can see, that'll stop it from rolling forward. A lot of rookie mistakes with rear wheel drive. People think, oh, I'll just put it in gear whenever I'm jacking it up at the back, it's not going to move anywhere. Well, it's rear wheel drive, so that's going to be where the wheel locks. It's not going to be at the front, so whenever they jack it up, it ends up rolling away. So you don't want that to happen. So we're now ready to jack it up. So on this occasion we're going to jack up on the actual disc itself, on the axle. You just got to get your jack lined up with the rear diff and just ever so slightly gently bring it up the way. This is a Sealy Premier jack, also known as the rocket lift. Now, am I just being overcritical here? And I just don't think there's anything rocket lift about it. This is my second one. The first one was replaced under warranty eventually. It just doesn't seem very good to me. So on this occasion we've got some steel wheels that we're putting down rather than putting axle stands on it. Any of you that are looking at this and saying, oh, you need to put axle stands on it, it's like, well, hold on a wee minute. Look how old this vehicle is. This here vehicle's about 30 years old. If you're going to put axle stands on this, right, do it at your own risk. But I'm not risking it. Okay, you just gently let it down on the steel wheels, and that should be enough. You want to be getting the jack out of the way so that you can work on it. So the back box has seen better days. Okay, it's now broke off. So basically we're going to remove this, get the other one put on. This is the replacement, and we're going to get this on. But having a look at this here, I have a funny feeling it might need the centre section pipe as well. But we'll just see how we get on with this. So the main objective is to straighten the end of this exhaust up, because it's been all mashed up in the past. Someone had done a temporary fix on it. I just had a wee quick look online, just in between there, to see if I could source a centre section for it, but nowhere seems to do one at the moment. So I just need to lay out a few inquiries and see what I can come up with. It's been bodged with an inch of its life. I think it's just been so that this exhaust, this here back box, would sit on and not blow out. As you can see where the wee holes are, where it's been bodged. So what I intend to do, I've got a bit of aluminium pipe. I'm just going to make a wee trim and put it in here just to knock that into shape. I'm just going to keep that bit of metal inside this just as a wee bit of support, for whenever I put the clamp on. That'll hold it nice and steady and give it a solid fix for the new back box. As I say, it's only really temporary, see, until I can get a centre section for this, because I'm not happy with that. The corrosion on that is unreal. Now, I had a look all the way up and there's no pinholes on it. It's only really here where it had been bodged. I'm just going to do a wee trim off the edge of it with my lovely assistant. So as you can see, I'm trying to get the pipe in. Now the pipe isn't exactly a snug fit, so I'll hammer it in and hope that it fits. Ah, yes. Great success! So I've decided it's absolutely boiling outside. It's too warm to be working outside, especially in your work gear. So I've just brought it in. I'm going to put it up on the ramp. Okay, so I've got it up in the air now, and that'll give me nice clear access. Getting this on and getting the back box sealed on. I'm just waiting on a D-clamp arriving. There was ones ordered on eBay 2 weeks ago and they haven't arrived. So I've just ordered them from Dingbro and they'll be here in like half an hour. Okay, so I've got it hooked up now. Okay, so the D-bolts have arrived. Okay, just gonna tighten this up. Just 13 mils. So I think I've managed to save it for the meantime, but I'm going to try and get an actual centre section ordered up for it. It's just proven very difficult to actually source one, but I'm going to keep at it. Every bit of spare time I've got, I'll put it in the search list. So that's good. You just give it a wee jiggle just in case it's knocking off everything, but everything's fine. There's no knocking. We're going to zap the wheels off. Crumpled off it. It's hard to work out if that's a 21, but I think it could be 20 or 21 maybe. I would say a 19. We'll go for a 19. I could be wrong, but anyhow. We've got a 19 on. Okay, 19's going on with no wiggle at all. So the 19, big difference from the 21. Once all the corrosion had been knocked off it, it's actually a 19 underneath all that. Who would have guessed it? So I'm going to try and loosen this with the crack bar first, because I don't want to instantly put the buzz gun on it because it might tear it to shreds. At least I'll be able to feel what I'm doing using the crack bar. A beautiful assistant. really doesn't sound too healthy. Well, it's starting to loosen. That was iffy. And this is the one for the passenger side. Nothing worse than corroded castle nuts. You have the wee pin inside them. And also minimum space to work with as well. I think what they're expecting you to do is get that with a spanner. So this nut in here, it's just a wee castle nut. That's a 19. Right. This here one will be a 24. And we've got one just over here. That one will be a 17mm. So that's the three you need to take off. We'll just give it a wee soak from time to time with WD-40. Give these here ones a wee soak because we'll be doing them right now. So I've decided upon this being difficult to get into with the ratchet. I was going to take that off, but I decided I'll try a swan neck in to begin with. I just hope it doesn't snap. Well, if it snaps because it's getting replaced anyway. Well, it's loosening, it's not spinning. I'm actually quite surprised. I assumed it would be spinning. But in this game, you assume nothing. Don't just make assumptions, because in this line of work, everything is so unpredictable. If I can get this on the crack bar, if I can actually get it loosened, I'll be able to get the rest with the buzz gun. Jeez, oh. That's tough. Double check first before I put the buzz gun anywhere near that. Now it's been well soaked in WD-40. It's spinning. Yeah. Right, so the swan necks are coming out in force today. That's moving nice and freely. I'll buzz that. Oh, it's too warm. I thought coming in, working in the shade would be a good idea, but it's still just as warm. It's very, very, very close today. This here one, I'll need to chop it out. So you put your 17mm back on, just ever so slightly, and just give it a little chop with the hammer. You can feel it out at the other side. That's good to remove the 17mm. Didn't like that, did it? So I've now got the ball joint splitter. Yeah, I'll probably need a good few thumps to split this. that seems to be us. Good to go. Yep, that's us. It's an odd wee setup, obviously before drop links. Old Sierra's never had drop link. I think drop links was a thing that came out with the Mondeos. Because I definitely can never remember a Sierra having drop links. Right, so it's allowing me. Aye, that's you know what? You don't know what that does being bodged up with? Black electrical tape. That is savage. That is savage. People like that, they give us mechanics a really, really bad name. You know, the artful bodgers. I'm partial to a wee bodge myself, but that is just ripping it. For the sake of a few quid, someone's done that. Shocking. Okay, so I've got some nice brand new ones. My chance. Perfect. So I just took the bolts off this D-bush. But I can't believe somebody's done that. They've actually went, took it off and wrapped electrical tape round and round and round and round. Instead of just going and get the right ones for pennies, I may add. That's mental. The artful bodgers. And for the sake of like 10 minutes work, was actually going to say while the wheels are off, I may as well do the pads, but having a look, the pads are perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them pads. Do you? Oh no, hold on, that was a 19 there. It was the one that was up here. That was the 17. My bad. Telling you, see old age, it catches up with everybody. So don't think you're going to escape it. Now these parts, I'm just changing them for the sake of changing them. They don't need changed. Obviously with the anti-rollbar there was no play in it, but I discovered that it had been bodged to make no play in it obviously. But at least it's done right. At least I know that the bottom arms have been done on it. I'll be doing the springs on it as well. I'm not changing them pads because them pads are perfect. But at least I know when it needs pads I've got a nice shiny new set to go on it. You're lucky if this your thing's done about 2,000 miles from the early 2000s. Hasn't done a lot of mileage throughout that time. But it's an old vehicle and you can tell it's an old vehicle. It's not claiming to be anything good. It's just is what it is. It's absolutely hateful not working with music, because see any of my previous vlogs, like fair enough I've put loads of my own like choice of music on and that, but the last one I thought I would use ones that don't have royalties, but I had the radio on in the background and it actually picked up on the radio and I got a copyright claim on my video. So I decided today I'm not going to put my radio on. It sucks, but what can you do? I'm doing this video, I'll put this on laps because that is just so 1990s when you didn't have these things. You didn't have the air ratchets and things like that and your wee buzz guns and stuff. Just I think this one I'd loosened earlier from memory. Yep, I did. Try to loosen them both at the same time. We'll try this 24mm. Will we be lucky? Keep my fingers crossed. Ooh, yeah, that was too easy. There's nothing worse. See when something goes too easy, could be a problem, or it could be just coming off loose. But I reckon, going by the look of the corrosion disruption, it's coming off. We can hear a train coming. This is getting buzzed. Buzz, buzz, buzz. So it's spinning at the back. Just drag it in at the back. That come off without a problem at all. Screw the 17mm back on and head in the chat. Unscrew it. See if I can get it shimmying out. There we go. Bolt splitter. Well, one smack. There we go. So far so good. Just nip the nut on. That's that one in. I can't remember these being as much bollock doing bottom arms on Sierras back whenever I was wee, but absolutely bollock. So I just come up with an idea. Wee nosy. I've just put one of my recovery ratchet straps round each arm to pull it together. So I'm just going to chap this here bit up and line the hole up and then get the bolt in, and that should hopefully be us. But I kind of got a bit ahead of myself and wasn't recording when I was faffing about, but it would have made interesting watching, but quite embarrassing for me. Well, so my idea worked and it's now in. What a nightmare. But it's on. It's got the D-bushers on, it's got the new bottom arms on. I don't know if I have enough time to do these today, but what time is it now? 3:10. I could maybe attack one side today and see how I get on for time, but considering how much of a bollock that's been, I just want to go home and chill out. I'll see. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I'm on doing the bottom arm again. Basically, this top part, I'll not get enough leverage to get the strut out and leave the hub on. So the hub also needs disconnected from the bottom arm. Right, so that's us out now. It's so awkward. So I'm just going to tap the hook down. Right, so that now gives me a bit of room up top. What I'll need to do is bring the vehicle down and get the strut top mount disconnected as well. Just hoping that with these here new springs it'll sit a bit better, because I'm nearly sure the springs that were in it are for a sapphire or something. I don't know. Just seems awfully low at the front, but the ones in the back sit very high. It's a 19mm at the top. Your struck top now. There we go, easy as that. Compress this down, then unzap this bit at the top and put the new spring in. But aye, look at the condition of that. It's all corroded. Right. Okay, so I'm getting the old spring off, just compressing it up the way. Get a 19mm onto the end of this and take the strut top mount off. We're now ready to take the strut top mount off. That'll come off way too easy. Just make sure everything comes off and goes back on the same way. And the easiest way of doing that is assemble it exactly the way it came off. Just got to take this spring out. I don't know what that is, it just fell out. Oh, the wee damper part of the strut. New versus old. So these are the old ones, these are the new ones. So I'm hoping that it'll bring it up a bit, because they look a hell of a lot healthier than them, and they're bigger. You know, that there could have looked like that whenever it was put on, because it's got the same amount of coils. It's got no breakages on it, so assuming everything will go alright. We're now ready to put this here one back together again. Okay, that's the strut back together. So far so good. Just knocked a wee bit of the rust off. I didn't go TT on it. I think the next thing they'll be getting done if I keep it. So I've got this side offered up. Just nipped the wee bolt on. I've got it resting in. So I just got to connect the hub. Didn't mean to do that. And then get the bottom ball joint on. Telling you, you don't have to get nostalgia working on these old motors, I tell you. Takes me right back. Right, so just to get the top suspension mount off. Okay, so that was easy enough. Okay, so that's everything back together again. We just need to let it down and see how it sits. Obviously once the suspension settles, it'll be sitting a bit lower. I wouldn't suspect it would sit like that all the time. Definitely pleased with how that's turned out. You can tell by the teaser on my face that I'm actually quite pleased. Yes, it's sitting high, but It's looking proper. Doesn't look like it's sitting on its hole now. That's what a truck's supposed to look like. So it doesn't have the dragster look no more. So once I've cleared up all the jumbo seal that's lying all around it, we'll take it a wee blast, as that's me finish for today. Remember not to depend on the buzz gun for tightening them. Always nip them up with the crack bar. The height of this is sitting a hell of a lot better. Definitely how it's supposed to sit. Needs a good wash. It's just been lying redundant for a good lot of weeks. I think from the last retro meet, it's got bird shite all over it as well. Really got to get it cleaned up the next time I've got a chance. I'll take it a wee whirl up the hill. Can't believe the difference. It feels so more responsive round the steering. Definitely a big improvement. It's more comfortable. Feels absolutely fantastic. So much different. It'll definitely make this more enjoyable to drive. Yeah, you can definitely appreciate the work that's been done today. It has made a hell of a difference. It's got the proper springs now. I think the springs that were in it were maybe out of a petrol car. These here ones that are in it seem to be heavy duty compared to the ones we've just took out of it. Definitely car show weather. We'll see when the next retro meet is, and we'll be going to that. We'll be taking this. Unless something else shows up, it'll be my wee brother-in-law. He'll be driving this if I get something else. He likes this one. Aye, so it's coming up to the end of the working day, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. To be honest, I didn't really enjoy making it, but coming up to the end and seeing the end result of that P100 and how it's sitting, especially how it's driving as well. It's driving so smooth on the road. makes it all worth the while. It's things like that that makes me realise the jobs that I'm doing are worthwhile. But I hope you like it. If you liked it and you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, and also tell your friends. The more people join to the page, the better. And you can suggest things that I can do. But anyway, 1010 over and out.